In the past 3 months, I ran my first marathon, finishing in a time of 3 hours, 11 minutes. I started my first business and secured my first sale, my first client. And I also started my third year at Georgia Tech, one of the top schools in the United States. The point of this video isn't to brag or flex, but it's to show you how you can level up in multiple areas of your life at the same time, even if you're a full-time student and even if you have a busy schedule. In this video, I'll give you 3 tips that I've learned along the way that I think will help you out. So let's get straight into it. Tip number 1 is make your goals public. I'm seeing a lot of content right now on social media and on YouTube about disappearing or going ghost, not telling anybody about your plans, but just grinding in silence to then reappear unrecognizable. And I partially agree with this advice. I think there's a lot of people that struggle with setting their expectations and their goals very high and telling lots of people about it, but they never stick to it. They never follow through. And so that really just crashes their confidence. Everybody around them thinks that they're all talk and no action. But I do agree that if you're trying to pursue some ambitious goals, you need to prioritize focus. This might mean cutting off social media. This might mean saying no to some social events. This might mean spending some time alone in solitude. But please make your goals public. Totally isolating yourself is the quickest way to lose accountability. During my marathon training, I was posting every single day on my Strava account. You can actually go follow me, shameless plug, I'll put the link in the description. But posting these runs daily helped me to stay accountable. There was no negotiation as to whether every day I would wake up and finish my run or complete my training, because I knew I had people that followed me, that cared about me, that knew me in real life or maybe knew me online, and they were checking in to see if I was hitting my runs every single day. And even if they didn't really care, if they were just scrolling through their feed, that internal pressure was still there for me to make sure I was showing up. Whenever I needed advice or encouragement, there was also people that knew what I was building towards, and they could offer advice and just build me up when I was feeling down. The same principle, make your goals public, applies to business, and it might even be more important. When I first started my business, I didn't post about it on social media, I'll admit that, but I did tell my close network of friends and family, and it was actually through this close network that I was able to get my first client and achieve my first sale. As time goes on, telling people about your goals becomes more and more important because these people become active members of your network. They can actually start helping you move forward in what you're building if you tell the right people. The second lesson I learned through marathon training and building a business as a full-time student is that you can't find time, you have to create time. One of the number one excuses that students use for not starting something new is I don't have time. But what separates these students from the ones that actually achieve their goals is that the successful ones don't find time, they create it. We all have the same 24 hours in a day. So that means if we want to make time to make progress on our goals, we're going to have to make some sacrifices. For my marathon training, this meant less sleeping in and more early morning runs. Ideally, you want to put the most important task for your day at the start of the day. That way, when you wake up, there's no distractions. Nobody's asking you to do anything. You don't have class. You don't have to go anywhere. You can just get straight to work. And once you knock out that task, your momentum is already set for the rest of the day. You already feel like the day is a win, and you can be more productive that way. This can be especially easy for a task like running. Running is simple. If you have your training structure planned out, every day you know what you need to do, you can just wake up, lace up your shoes, head out the door, and you're already started on training. But this can be a little bit more complicated when it comes to something like building a business. There isn't a set path of every day what you need to do. And I'll admit, this is something that I've struggled with. For my business, I have not been nearly as consistent as I have with my running journey. With the marathon, I was able to complete it and I was very close to my overall goal time, and I hit my goal of finishing the marathon. But for my business, I feel like I'm limiting myself in terms of growth. I have been able to secure a few clients, but I'm nowhere near where I want to be. And I think the next step that's going to take me to the next level is implementing structure. The same type of structure I've implemented with a marathon training. Every day, I should know what I'm doing, waking up, getting that work done, and I'm going to see more measurable results. And I think the same will be true for you. And finally, what I think is the most important lesson that I had to learn and that you need to learn as well is that we need to embrace consistency. One of the hardest things to accept during marathon training especially is that no single run, no single day of training is going to make or break your race. You could have an incredible day, an incredible workout, your legs feel light as a feather, you're running and you just have all the endurance in the world, and the next day you feel like total crap and your legs feel like bricks. But on either of these days, you have to remain consistent in your mindset especially. Know that over time, the training will add up. Even if there's some bumps along the way, you're eventually overall going to make progress and achieve that goal of finishing the marathon. The same is true for business. Some days you might get a new sale, a new client, you're feeling on top of the world. You have that dopamine hit of money hitting your bank account. And the next day, all of your cold emails are ghosted. Nobody's replying to you. Nobody wants to buy what you're selling. The website is not working. Everything seems to be going against you. But you have to realize that the thing that separates the people that succeed versus the people that fail is that the people that succeed just keep going right past these days. They keep going through failure, through setbacks, through boredom especially. The days where you just don't want to work, you don't want to get the task done. These people just keep pushing through all of that and eventually they hit that success. One of my favorite phrases is you can't lose if you don't quit. It sounds crazy, but it's completely logical. If you do not give up, if you physically do not stop trying until you win, then you'll win. You'll either die or you win. And sometimes that's the delusional confidence that you have to have in yourself. Now, this doesn't mean blast yourself in the ground for 20 hours straight working. I am not advocating for that, and I do not do that myself. But it does mean showing up, even if it's just a little bit, every single day. And you'll be surprised how much you'll accomplish in a month, 3 months, 6 months. We overestimate what we can do in a day, and I am guilty of that. Checklists will have a daily to-do list, and at the end of the day, those boxes aren't really checked. But we really don't give ourselves enough credit in how much we can achieve 6 months from now, a year from now. If I were to look back where I am today as I was even a year ago or even freshman year of college, I would be blown away. And so sometimes I have to take a step back and just be grateful for how far I've come. But I think that if we have that mindset of daily consistency, that's where we're gonna start seeing real transformation. And this is the most manageable way to make progress as a busy student. You're going to have class every day, you're gonna have your homework, you're gonna have exams, you're gonna have to study. And so you're not gonna be able to spend full 12-hour days working on a business or training for a marathon. But you can wake up, get your morning run. You can, after class, work for 30 minutes, work for an hour on the business. And that way, over time, you're still growing, you're still making progress. That's gonna wrap it up for today's video. I hope you found some value in it. Comment down below what you're building, what are you working on, and I'll see you guys in the next one.